Hello, it's Amy from Amy Parker Art. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you're watching the recording of this, that's totally fine. You can ask me anything you want. I will check intermittently and get back to you. So if you're joining us live, that's great. Super excited to be here with you all. Hello, if you're watching on YouTube or Amy Parker Art business page or my collectors group, my art lovers in hashtag Amy Parker Art group. Okay. I just wanted to pop on and just kind of let you know, all of my art lovers out there who are wanting pieces, who've been messaging me about what's happening in my own art world creation, and what's going on. So I'm just going to kind of give you the lowdown and then show you some pieces. I actually have some photos that I've taken as well throughout some of my process of creating in plein air recently. And I'll share those photos in a moment too. I'll screen share so you can see that. When you jump on, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. And if you can see and hear me okay, that would be awesome. So I have my notebook so I don't forget anything. I always write a bunch of notes before I jump on live so I can tell you what's up and what's happening. There's a painting behind me. We'll talk about this one and another one down below that I'll show you in a moment. So this video is all about showing you a couple of plein air pieces. I'll show you some other ones as well, but a couple of plein air pieces that I've been working on recently. If you're not sure what plein air means, all that really means, it's just like a technical artist term for painting on site, painting outside in the beauty of the world, and bringing your supplies and your easels, setting up and painting on site. So that's what plein air means. Hello, Facebook users. Sorry, I can't see your name. If you would like me to see your profile and your name, that would be awesome. All you have to do is hit the description and just allow StreamYard to let me see who you are. I'm sure I probably know you, but I just can't see you because I'm using StreamYard. All right, let me see. Oh, I wanted to let you know, all of my art lovers out there. Laura, too, one of my art lovers. I know we talked recently. I know you wanted a piece. You wanted one of the birch tree pieces that I had posted on like Flaunt It Friday. Most of those, just for those of you who are interested in my pieces, most of those that I post on the day that I let artists just share on that posting on my business page, what they're working on or what they've recently created. I have graphics that I put together for that particular post with some of my past paintings. So I know some of you, like one of my friends and art collectors, Laura, who have reached out to me recently. So most of those pieces are already sold, because I've sold so many pieces throughout my life, and especially from being so present on social media. Um, Hello, Linda Clark, Wild and Crazy. Linda's watching. Awesome. Gail is here. If you're a creative warrior, go ahead and hashtag CW like Gail did. I would love to see that. If you're wondering what that is, it is the membership I have to teach artists what I do, right? Teach them. And Daryl's also a creative warrior. Hello, Daryl. Where I teach artists how to make money with their art. So anyway, yeah, this video is all about just kind of letting you know what's going on in my creative world, what I'm doing for creations. I'll show you some pieces here in a moment. So I want to let, like I was just saying, most of the paintings that I post during Flaunt It Friday kind of serves two purposes, right? If you're not even sure what I'm talking about, every Friday on Amy Parker Art business page, if you're an artist, then you have the chance to, and the availability to post a photo of what you're working on, or a completed piece. Hello, Laura. I know this is Laura Corbello from Blue Mountain Art Studio. She is one of our creative warriors as well. And I do have one of Laura's paintings because I'm an art collector as well as an artist. Um, yeah, I just reached out to another one of my CWs today because I was interested in a piece, kind of on the fence about it because it's a large piece. I'm not sure if I'm going to have room to fit it in here. But anyway, just figured I'd throw that out there. Like, I also love collecting art pieces that speak to me, that strike something in me that I find beautiful or gives me a special feeling. Whatever the case may be. So I want to let my art lovers know as well, all of you who are interested in purchasing pieces from me, I have raised my prices to a standardized pricing form of $1 per square inch. That's for my canvas painting. So I have been selling some pieces now at that price point, which I will continue to do. As you know, if you have purchased many art pieces or have looked around in galleries and things like that, no fret, that still is a pretty low number for a fine artist. Yes, I have been painting and creating my whole life, even though I don't have an art degree or business degree, but I have gained numerous art collectors online. Thank you so much. Um, who I have sold to throughout the years, especially back in 2018 when I started my collectors group, right on Facebook and use social media. It's a wonderful thing to be able to just work in your home studio or out in the beauty of the world, painting in plein air, and be able to offer these pieces. So if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I will definitely keep an eye on what you are saying and I will get back to you. All right, so we went over that. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm a list maker. Everybody who knows me knows that I just, I sit down before I do anything, before I offer my members anything, or before I come on to talk to my art lovers or whatever it is, so I can make sure that I have some bullet points of what I want to talk about. All right, so some pieces I have will be available soon. Oh, I want to skip down here because I want to let you know that there are some available pieces of mine around town as well. So if you live close to me, next to me in the Lakes region, I live in Laconia, New Hampshire, and the Lakes region is fairly large. But I do have some beautiful large pieces at the 1848 Inn. Thank you. Thank you, Brooke, who is the owner of the inn, for letting me display some pieces there in her motel section. So if you would like to check those out, Brooke is the owner. She's a real sweetheart. So go ahead, go on in and say, hey, I want to see what you've got. And that way you can check out her beautiful property that she has at the inn. And who knows, maybe you'd like to stay there sometime. I also have, let me see here. I also have some pieces just until, actually, I got to reach out to Ginny, who owns Picnic Rock Farms, and that is in Meredith. So the 1848 Inn is in Laconia. Picnic Rock Farms is in Meredith, very close to my sister Sarah's house. And they have amazing food. They grow their own food. They have a big farm and a wonderful store. And every time I go in there to check on my pieces or go visit my sister, I stop in there to see, what they have available. And I always bring my reusable shopping bag and throw some of their veggies in there, and it is amazing. So anyway, I have some pieces there, quite a few pieces there. There's probably 14 or so pieces left. She sold some throughout the summer. But those, if you live in my area and you want to see some in person, and you'd like to go get some amazing veggies, you can most certainly stop in there, Picnic Rock Farms, and check out what she has available of mine that is left. Now, that's seasonal, right? Because we live here in New England. So Ginny, the owner, is going to have me pick up my pieces probably let's see, last year I think she had me pick them up around Thanksgiving time, but I'm not sure if they're actually open that late or if she just called me late because I think they maybe, please excuse me if I'm wrong, Ginny, but I think they maybe kind of close up for the season like at the end of October, maybe beginning of November. Um Hello, Facebook user. Once again, for me to see your beautiful profile picture and your name, just touch my face, go to the description. You should see something from StreamYard that you can click on, and it will just allow StreamYard to let me see what you're saying. Yeah. Veggies and art, heartbeat that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not the best at eating super healthy. I eat pretty healthy, but I mean, I am a junk food junkie and I love ice cream and chocolate. Those are like some amazing guilty pleasures of mine. But I do love veggies and I do love fruit. And this farm has so many organic, amazing, yummy things to grab. And Ginny, the owner, she's an amazing cook and baker, and of course, she always has things that I want to grab there too, like pies and cookies and stuff like that. Um, Hello, Zilly. I am good. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us. So, just to give you another little recap here of what we're talking about. And if you haven't met me before, I'm Amy from Amy Parker Art. I am an award winning artist from New Hampshire. I make my living by creating paintings and artwork. And I had such great luck with that, especially when I went online as a full-time artist back in 2018. I created a space online, a membership where I can help artists do the same thing as well. So I love being an artist and I love helping artists. So, but I'm on here tonight to just go through my bullet points, just kind of let you know what's going on in my own creative world with my own fine arts paintings. And I've been interested in having fun with painting in plein air recently. Big shout out to my one of my BFFs, an amazing artist, Cheryl Hughes. She's really inspired me to just kind of get out and paint in plein air, which basically means painting on site, right? Bringing your supplies, your easel, painting on site. So this painting behind me, it's still a work in progress, but this is one that I'm going to have available soon. But anyway, and I just want to let you know what was going on, some updates and announcements and things like that that's happening. So from my art lovers, right? If you've checked out my own art gallery on Amy Parker Art, Amy's Gallery, and if you're not sure where that is and you want to check it out, you just go ahead and put in the comments Amy's Gallery. I'll come back and give you that link. You most certainly can go there. You most certainly can check that out. But I need to update it. I've even written a little note there. So when you land on the front page of my gallery, it's going to tell you that, before making a purchase, just reach out to me because I'm sorry, you guys. I've been so busy with a lot of things happening recently that I haven't updated it, but it's on my to-do list because some of the pieces within my own gallery are, like I said, hanging at specific places in town. And some of them are already sold, and I did not go back to mark those sold. So, of course, I don't want you to grab something that's already sold. Of course, I would refund your money if that happened. But the way I have it set up, it wouldn't even go through anyway. But and I wanted to pop on because I've had a lot of my art collectors, aka art lovers, reach out to me recently asking me for pieces, a lot of pieces that they've seen for my photos on Flaunt It Friday and things like that. Most of those pieces, really they could be all of those pieces. I'm going to have to go back and look at my graphics I made for that. They're probably, it's probably best for me to just say those are all sold. But I can recreate pieces. If there is something that you like, go ahead and, let me know, because I've done a lot of recreations of pieces, especially my purple tree. Oh my gosh. You art lovers of mine out there, like, love the purple tree. I have created 43 paintings now of the purple tree, because once it's sold, sometimes I recreate it again, which I did with the purple tree years ago. And now to this date, I have sold 43 pieces. And Ginny at Picnic Rocks just sold one as well. So that was pretty cool. So sometimes, you really love the recreations. And when I recreate a piece, I always tell you that yes, it's going to look similar, but it's not going to be exact, because I'm an artist. In every piece that I create with my hands, my mind, my heart and soul is not going to look exactly like the one that I just sold. So hopefully you get my gist there, but it's going to look very similar. There's limited spots for that, by the way, especially for Christmas. I'm already getting people, all of you out there, asking me for Christmas stuff. So that's always my busiest time of the year, is right now through Christmas time. So if you want something specific like that from me, either a recreation or a free reign commission, I call it. If you're not sure what that is, you can go ahead and ask. I'll let you know if you're interested. Then let me know immediately, or as soon as you know, because I can only paint so much between now and Christmas. So just give me the heads up on that. Oh, awesome. So Zilly is a painter too. You are welcome. Welcome to be here. Let's see. One can see more colors and atmosphere plus depth and detail when outside, and often shows in the art. Yes, absolutely. I'm wondering if that might be Jane. I'm not sure. If that's not you, Jane, let me know, whoever that is. I totally agree. But we just had a conversation about that. So I'm guessing it might be Jane. I don't know. Hello. Hello there. I wish I could call out your name, but you got to allow StreamYard to let me see who you are. So you just touch my face and go to the description where StreamYard shows, hey, press that button and allow StreamYard to let me see your face. You don't have to do it every time I'm using StreamYard. If you're wondering even what that is, all it is, you guys, is just a software, a video streaming software that I use sometime to go live in multiple places, like I am right now. I'm inside of my art collectors group. Hello, art lovers. And that group is hashtag Amy Parker Art. And I'm also live on my business page on Facebook. So hello to all of you out there, as well as Amy Parker Art on YouTube. So I'm in all those places. Okay, so it is Jane. Yeah. Yeah, so just go. So you don't have to leave the video. You just go to the description, Jane. That's all you got to do. All right. So I wanted to tell you, those of you that are interested in my pieces, all of you have purchased pieces from me before or thinking about it, as an artist, right? Not just me, but every artist. We evolve over time. We get better at our skill level, right? We are, attracted to different things sometimes. We have emotions just like anybody. We have desires and inspirations and things like that. So as we have these regular human feelings, we evolve, and our art evolves in different ways. So I have been recently painting in plein air, which I'm going to show you some pieces in a moment. And I've also evolved with my price point. I'm now charging $1 per square inch for my canvas paintings. Now, If you look anything up, especially in galleries and things like that, don't fret, peeps, because that still is a low ball, low ball. But all of you that are in um my art lovers group, where we did the auctions and I did the quick, fast acrylic paintings, I'm still going to be doing some of those, but the price is going up. That's how it works in business as an artist, because I'm getting older, not just me, every artist out there. I'm getting older and I can only paint so much in my lifetime. That's why fine arts is usually priced higher than like crafty type of things. Okay. That's another big, long conversation. But if you have any questions about any of that stuff, go ahead and ask, or send me a PM, whatever, and I'll help you out. Okay. So I have been also, besides painting in plein air, um, big shout out to my friend Brenda Kenny, who is an amazing fine arts painter, focuses mostly on oils. And I had a desire, right? I would say I'm not very good with time frames, trying to remember. I have a bad short term memory. I don't know about you. Let me know so I don't feel so bad. But I started using oils again pretty recently. I would say in the past couple of months, right? So I reached out to my friend Brenda. I'm like, hey, I'm on my way to Michael's. I'm going to get some oil paints. I tried this before years ago. Actually, a long time ago. My first experience with oil paints was when I was in high school and I was probably 15 or 16. Um, and thank you, Mrs. Sillick, my art teacher, who forced me to do some oil paintings, and I did not want to. But that was my first experience with it. And then all the years went by, and then I hooked up with a friend who was an artist years ago. I'm talking like probably 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, and she was an oil painter. So she gave me some tips and we tried a few techniques together, and then I got into it a little bit. But now fast forward to now, most of my art lovers, all of you have purchased pieces from me. I paint, that my favorite medium to this date, remember, I'm evolving as an artist. It could be true next year or I could change my mind. But up to this date, it has been my favorite medium has been acrylics. So I still do a lot of acrylic painting, but Brenda helped me. Brenda helped me pick out some paints because I got a little oil painting kit here at Michael's a couple months ago. Oh, I think I just got a splinter when I picked this up. The kit, I actually bought a kit because I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to try it out a little bit, see how I like it. So I don't want to waste a ton of money on paints. And oil paints are very expensive. They're more expensive than acrylic paints are. There's all kinds of different brands and things like that that you can get. But I've got the 1980 oil paints by Gamblin. And I'm really liking these and I'm really loving them. Got some linseed oil I'm working with, and I love how that makes it flow onto the canvas. So awesome. So I'm still working with that and finding some special brush strokes that I like to do with the oils. But with these two plein air paintings, like the one behind me, that will be available sometime soon, I'm actually incorporating oils with my acrylics. So for all of you artists out there, I just want you to know this. You can't paint acrylics on top of oil paints, but you can paint oil paints on top of acrylic paints. As long as it's dry, you got to let those layers dry first. And I'm loving that, right? I probably will, I'm sure, create some paintings that are entirely done with oils, but nonetheless, I'm loving how I'm putting some oil layers on top of these plein air pieces. So coming out kind of cool. And then hello, yay, new oil paintings. I know, I'm so excited. They work, and this isn't like a whole talk about, how they work differently and things like that, as far as like the details for the actual process, right? I'm not going to go too much into that because, it would be kind of a long video. But all of you artists out there, especially if you're in Creative Dreams Artist Entrepreneur, that free group that I have, we can discuss it and stuff in there as well. Yeah, the oils are great for art, and it really adds a nice, beautiful touch to the piece. And with the oil paints, the pigments are like natural. So it does this like literally scientific, like optical thing when you view it, when you look at it. Hard to see on camera, right? I mean, a fine arts painting, really, if you can view it in person, that's what's gonna fill you up. That's what's gonna make you go, oh my gosh. Just like when you go to um a gallery and you look in person. It's just there's nothing beats that, right? We can look at photos all day, and I've sold numerous paintings. And thank you so much, all of my art lovers out there. If it wasn't for you, I would not be able to do what I do. So thank you so much for supporting a living artist. Greatly appreciated. But the pictures look great online, but when you get it, and I've heard this from just about all of my customers, right? Oh my gosh, Amy, when I got it in the mail and I opened it up, and it's just so much more beautiful in person, because it is like you got to be there. It's like an experience when you grab that piece of art and then you own it and you can see it in person. It's amazing. All right, so I went through that, just checking my what's happening, telling you can check out my website gallery, but I do have to do some updates. Some of those pieces are sold or they're at places around town. And anyway, so let me show you. I'm going to show you up close what I have done so far. These paintings, by the way, news alert, please hear me. These paintings that I'm going to show you, these two plein air paintings, are not completed yet. They still are a WIP, which is a work in progress. But because I have some of you art lovers reaching out to me already and asking for pieces that unfortunately were already sold, I wanted to jump on here and show you these two new pieces I'm working on. And when they're completed, the first place I'm going to post them for you, if you want to grab them, is inside of my art collectors group. If you're not in there, please jump in. It's called Amy Parker Art, just like my page. And if you're not sure where to find it, just go ahead and put it down below. You know, let me know and I'll come back and I'll give you that. So anyway, yeah, just please know that they're not completed yet, but they are a work in progress. So this one is a piece, and see, I'm using oils, so it's not even dry. I don't know if you can see my finger, but I'm getting it on myself. But this is coming out really nice. This one is almost completed, but I'm going to be doing a little bit of glazing technique over it to give it, a more of like I don't know, just some really cool effects. And this piece I actually painted in plein air at a place called Alacoya State Park. So if you live in my area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't live in my area, you can look it up if you want, but I'm going to show you some photos in a minute. I'm going to share a screen to kind of show you a little bit about my time there, because I like to take pictures and document a little so I can show you. It just makes it more real, right? But I did put some birds in here. There's some seagulls way out back on this little sandbar back here. And then they were lining the shoreline, which looks really cool. And of course, these two did not stay still. while I was trying to paint in plein air, because that would be miraculous. I mean, I would be on the news if that was happening. But I took photos as I was painting, right? I was set up at the picnic table and enjoying my day and painting this beautiful scene. And as I heard them all start to make their little birdie sounds and fly around, I stopped painting real quick and grabbed my camera and just started snapping a bunch of photos. So then when I was at home, I could use those photo references to put in a couple of birds there. These would be easy to paint in plein air, especially if they're all just kind of congregating there. But I have some really cool brush strokes within here, within the shadow on the sand, within the pine trees and things like that. And I really love the different values and hues that I have back here within the mountain range as well. And also have a little island right here, Lake Winnipesaukee, right where I live. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many islands. If my friend Brenda's on here, let me know. Even if you're watching the recording, I can't really say, but I know it's over 100. It's probably more like, I don't know, 300. Like, we have so many islands on the lake. It's just craziness. But this is one that I started putting some oil layers on top of. That's why, hence the reason why I'm getting it on my hand, because it's not quite dry. Oil paints take a while to dry. But I started it with acrylics and then just then oil painted, and that was getting everywhere. Thank you, Jane. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Crystal, who also is a creative warrior, she says, I thought about trying them, but the drying time is what kept me from using them. No room to let things dry that long. Although I think I've seen something about a product that will make dry faster. See, oil painting is not my specialty, but I think you're probably right. I mean, it could be my specialty next year. You never know, because I'm loving it. But you're probably right about that, Crystal. I bet there is something that would make it dry faster. Um, you also can just paint on smaller pieces, smaller pieces. Here's another like shout out I want to do to Kathy Sorrell, who owns Restoration Farms in Meredith, New Hampshire. She reached out to me, and this was a while back, and she has a small little store, and she does amazing things like feeding families who need food, basically, to put it bluntly. So I really admire what she does, and this woman is a super hard worker. But I was in the newspaper recently, front page article. So excited about that. And the writer did a wonderful, wonderful job. And anyway, so Kathy reached out to me, and she doesn't have a big spot, but she told me, hey, if you can create some tiny pieces, then we'll put some in here as well. She has all kinds of different people from all over that come in, speak with her, and check out her little store and stuff like that. These are not done either, but even Robin, you could even paint on little pieces like this. This one is not completed yet, but when I was taking a walk one day, well, I shouldn't say one day, I walk every single day, but there's so many beautiful areas, different scenes within my area. So this is a photo that I took of these roses on a fence, and it was just really cool. So this is going to be going to Restoration Farms, as well as this one that is not completed yet, still a work in progress, and another one that I haven't started. But these are tiny. These are like, and this one is an oil painting on top of acrylics. And that's what this will be as well. Right now, it's just acrylics with some Posca markers for the flowers. Hey, can you all help me out here? Are these water lilies or lotus flowers? I'm not really sure. I tried to look up the difference, but I still couldn't even make sense of it. And I live in New England, so I'm not sure if one or the other lives here, or I don't know. But once again, sometimes I get nervous about showing you all pieces that are not complete because I can see just by looking at this tiny piece that the highlights aren't in the lily pads. There's no depth to the flowers yet and things like that. So please know when they're done, these are going to go to Restoration Farms. If you want those pieces, you can most certainly stop in, say hi to Kathy, and grab them. But the plein air pieces I'm talking about today will first be available to my collectors. They get first dibs. So if you're a collector of mine, or if you want to be and you love my pieces, I'm going to show you another one that I'm working on as well. Let's see what Robin's saying. Makes sense to try smaller, test how they work. Fat over lean, and all that sounds so complicated too. That might be more so if you paint thicker, not sure. Yeah, there's so many different ways to paint, like painting impasto, or painting, what's the other term? Now I can't think of it, but my friend Brenda actually did a God, what is that term? My friend Brenda did a tutorial in oil paints inside of our Creative Warriors membership, which is still in there. If you're a Creative Warrior, you most certainly can go ahead and take Brenda's tutorial. And it has a special term, but it's basically painting it all in one sitting with oil paints instead of letting the layers dry. And after I'm done this video, then I'll remember what the term is. Yes, Jane, thank you. Alla Prima. Okay, that's what it is. Woo, woo. Okay. I'm going to wash my hands real quickly and wipe them off before I pick up my other painting so I don't get paint on that. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back. So you gotta use like some sort of degreaser soap if you're trying to get oil paints off your hands. That's what I found anyway. It works way better. Way better. All right. I'm going to show you the other piece. Once again, it's like I'm exposing myself here because these two plein air pieces are not completed. This one is almost there. But this one, literally, I just blocked in today. Okay. I just blocked it in. And blocking in means I just kind of drew out the structure of the painting really quick when I was on site painting in plein air. And then I kind of squinted my eyes a little bit to try and see like where the values are, which is the lightness or darkness within the scene. And I tried to kind of get that in. So basically that's the short version of blocking in a painting. These trees look like they're dead because there's no leaves on them yet or anything like that. So it's the base starting point of my second plein air piece that I've done recently. And this one, I actually went to Lincoln Park and painted this today. It was awesome. Had a good time. So this is still, like I said, a work in progress. But because I've had some of you art lovers out there asking me for pieces, unfortunately, most of the ones have been sold that you've asked for. I wanted to come on and show you this stuff, especially these two paintings, because these so far are not going anywhere. And I'm going to offer them to my collector base first. All right. So this one, once again, will be, have highlights, lowlights, more depth, and all that stuff. plus I plan on putting layers of oil over this as well. This one behind me, I'm not going to pick it up again because I'm going to get oil all over myself. I know what you mean, Robin, right? Trying to let it dry because I kind of have limited space as well. And I have some smaller oil paintings kind of laid out behind my camera over here. But I wanted to talk about this piece for a moment. I wish I had names for them right now, but I don't. That's one thing I get stuck on a lot. And I usually ask my followers or my art lovers, like, help me out. What can what should I name this piece? So after so many years of painting and selling so many pieces, which I counted, right? Last week, I couldn't even believe it. It's over 2,000 pieces of drawings and paintings that I have sold throughout my time of being an artist. And it's a lot of pieces for me. But if you think of like Picasso, who sold like 50,000 pieces, I'm not even anywhere near that. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk about this for a moment because you'll see it in the photos and the slides I'm going to show you in a moment. But I posted this piece, you guys, was it yesterday, the day before? I can't remember. And it was kind of dark in the studio. No, actually, it wasn't dark in the studio. I had this leaned up against my bay window and the light was coming like behind the window. And I didn't want to move it because I didn't want to get all full of paint. So I just shined one of my table lamps on it to take the photo. And it had a warm bulb in it. And the photo came out kind of cool. And I'll show you in a minute. Some of you have already seen it. But it just put this really nice, like warm in the photo anyway, put a really nice, like warm kind of hue to it. And I really loved it when I saw the picture. And I know a lot of you did as well. You made a comment about that, like Jane, like Madeline. And I'm going to try and grab the essence of what I see in that photograph onto the finished piece of this Alacoya painting. So that will require me to, there are a lot of warm tones in it, especially through the sand here. But I even want to kind of grab that even more by putting a glaze of some kind over it to kind of warm it up a little bit. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you're one of my art lovers and you're like, Amy, what the heck are you talking about? Like all this art stuff, that's okay. Just know that I work really hard on my paintings. Even if they are quick and fast, these ones, of course, I'm taking more time with, but I have a lot of experience. So I put my heart and soul into everything I create, whether it's a quick, loosely painted painting, or if it's more of a finer detail type of thing, or more of layer upon layer, it doesn't matter. It's, I work hard on all of them. Crystal says, what size are they, Amy? I missed that if you mentioned it when you started. Oh, the little ones. I think they are 4x5s. I think they're 4x5s. Like they're tiny. I'd have to get out my measuring tape and check out. Let's see. I'm just checking out what I'm saying here. I told you I blocked that in. All right, let me share a screen and just kind of show you a little some of the photos that I took as I was creating these pieces. So give me a moment to share. Entire screen. Share. All right. All right, so this is Alacoya, the painting that I showed you. That's on the easel behind me. I like how I grabbed this photo because I was sitting at a picnic table here to create this. And this is the scene that I saw. And you can see all the little birds in here. You can see right here this little tiny sandbar. and the two trees and all the shading and things like that, right? I am not a hyper realism type of painter. So I have more like a looser style and like an impressionistic kind of style. That's what I personally like. But here I am taking a selfie of this picnic table I was sitting at. And you can see this was kind of the beginning stages of the painting. I got the sky blocked in here, and then you can see where like some of my lines are, where I loosely paint with usually like a round brush, and I'll use like a really light color. Sometimes I use like a really light red or really light blue. In this instance, I use like a bluish gray. But you want to use something that is going to kind of blend with your painting, especially if you're going to be able to see any of those lines pop through. So I'm just, showing you a bit about my experience and my process here. So here's, I took numerous pictures, right? So I zoomed in on these seagulls here, and in my actual painting, they kind of look like this because you can't see a bunch of detail on these birds. They're too far away. So I'm just going to give the impression, right? Impressionistic style of painting, give the impression of the birds out there on that sandbar. This picture was taken obviously at a different time. There's even like more grouped together here. Here's one flying. So like I was telling you, I had some fly overhead where I stopped painting quickly to get some birds on camera so I could paint those at home. I also grabbed this photo of a sailboat way out there in the distance because I thought I might want to incorporate that within the painting as well. So, some things that are moving, like the birds in the boat, I'm going to take a photo of because they're not going to pause their life while I paint them, right? And here's another sailboat that I thought was really cool, and I like this photo as well because I got some of these little waves in here as well, which was unexpected, but I think will help me out within my painting if I want to add those. But this boat I thought was kind of cool because it has like all the rainbow colors in the sail, which was kind of neat too. So this kind of stuff, I can mull over at home when I'm in my studio and decide if I want to add these elements into the painting or not. Here's another one of the sailboat. Here's the photo that I was talking to you about. So on this side, which you can't see, is my table lamp with a warm light, right? Because usually with lamps and you screw in the light bulb, you can put a white light or a warm light in there, and this one had a warm light. So I'm really loving the warmthness in here in this piece, how I see it on the photo. And I know a lot of you do as well because you commented on that. And as you can see, I didn't even add the birds in at this point, right? I showed you earlier that I had way more to the painting now. In the clouds, these look kind of stupid. They're just like some quick pink, brush strokes, but it's all also, obviously has evolved since this photo. But this is what I'm talking about, that I want to put some glazing in here so that I can kind of grab that effect because I think it's kind of neat. Just another picture. Actually, I like this one even better because I can see more of the tree here, of my spot where I was sitting. That's very important. So if you're an artist and you paint in plein air or you're thinking about it, make sure you take a photo, not just one, but many, but make sure you take a photo of the exact what you're looking at, okay? Besides other elements that may be around, like the gulls or whatever. It's just a picture of like my tote bag with my paints, and I try and travel as light as possible. Just a picture of this is even way back. It's like we're going back in time because this picture here even has less in it than the other ones that you saw. But it's just see, there's some empty canvas spots here. So it's a process. It's a process. It's not like an artist is a camera and we're going out and just snapping a picture, right? I was talking about pictures, but I'm creating this, what I see. I like this photo too through my ring light, But as you can see right here is the warm light, and it looks kind of neat on there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's another sailboat out there, but the sail is down. But different things like that. Here's one of the birds. So, you know, I took photos of. It came out really fuzzy, but that's all right. I just used my artist imagination and did the best I could. Um, hopefully you can see. Oh wait, I didn't want to do that one. I wanted to go to Lincoln Park to show you that one. But I'm going to just do a techie thing here. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment because I want, can you please tell me, could you see that screen share? Because here I am talking away, showing you a bunch of photos, and I don't even know if you could see what I was, let me check the comments, see what you're saying. I want to make sure you can see that, and then I'll show you the photos and the process that I, you know, took some photos of from painting today in plein air at Lincoln Park. Oh, okay, Crystal, the ones that I'm working on now, the 2 plein airs I'm working on are size 16 by 20. Okay, it looks like you probably could have seen that because Crystal's saying, I'm sorry, Robin. I know, Robin. She's a creative warrior. It is as Crystal Robin, but she likes to be called Robin. Thank you for that. I'm going to assume by that comment that you could see the photos that I shared. Let's see. Cheryl Weaver says, I've noticed more people are I think she means are painting oil on top of acrylic. Do you get more depth with adding the oils? Absolutely. I am not proficient with oils yet, Cheryl. But I will be soon because I'm I have a lot of experience painting, and it's another medium that I've just started working with again. But there's so many benefits to adding oils on top of your acrylics. You can't do the other way around. Number one, the value of your painting increases. I mean, oil is king, hands down. And the other thing I mentioned earlier on in this video, and if you're popping in and you miss the beginning, you can go back and check out the recording of this. All you have to do is refresh, kind of pull down when I jump off, and it will be right here on the page that you're watching it on. Oils, unlike acrylics, the pigments are natural. They're natural pigments. So scientifically, optically, when you look at it, there's a scientific thing that happens, right? It's like, so when you look at it, the colors jump out more. The colors recede more, depending if you're using warm or cool tones within your oil paints, right? And with acrylics, and I'm not knocking acrylics, and I mean, I'm not even like proficient with oils yet, but I'm getting there. But I am with acrylics. But I can tell you that there is a big difference with oils and acrylics. If you look just at an acrylic painting and you look just at an oil painting, and you can even, you know, look at a painting like I'm talking about that I'm doing now with oils layers on top, right? We'll do the same thing. But if you're looking at just an acrylic painting, no matter what you do to it, it's still always going to look flat, right? And it doesn't mean that it's not going to look beautiful, or it doesn't mean that, you know, me as an artist haven't used warms and cool colors or anything like that. It's just a scientific fact that because acrylic paints are synthetic, that they don't jump out to your eye. They're not as pleasing to the eye and as natural to the human eye as oil paints are. Hopefully I explained that correctly. let's see, Robin, definitely will get brighter highlights with white and yellows. Learn that from artist Chuck Black. Very cool. All right, so let me, for all of my art lovers out there who want to see kind of behind the scenes of my painting that I blocked in today, which is not done, by the way. It's a WIP. I'm going to share screen again and just show you my day, what happened today, so that you can kind of be with me on my journey of creating this piece. And this one was at Lincoln Park in Guilford. All right, so share my screen. Give me a techie moment. Okay, so whoops. I don't know why that double went up like that. So here is Lincoln Park. I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure if I'm going to put some of the picnic tables in or not. I think they look kind of cool because, you know, they got this reddish. As an artist, you can paint it any color, right? I could. But I might put a couple of these in. I'm not sure. But I tried to get like the scene photo of the scene that I was creating. Here I am creating the piece. And I've already drawn in quickly kind of where things are. You can faintly see a line right up here to my second tree that I'm going to be painting in. But, you know, I was trying to go as quick as I could here to kind of get the essence of the painting. And here we're kind of going backwards. Maybe I should have started the slide differently, but I'm actually sitting on the back of my Chevy Traverse, right? I opened up the back, the hatchback, and I set up all my supplies right there. And this is one of my easels. I wish that I could be strong enough to carry around my big, huge wooden easel or one of them, but this is just one of the lightweight fold-up easels. Nonetheless, it was nice to have an easel to paint on because the one that I started at Elacoya, I did bring an easel with me, but it was so windy that day I couldn't put it out. But today I could with this one. And then there's just a picture before I left. I grabbed my multimedia pad in case I want to use that. In here somewhere, I have a couple 8x10 canvases and a 16x20 canvas, which it seems like I always go for the gusto and just grab the 16x20 and start painting away. But another cool picture of a boat here. So anything that's kind of moving, boy, wouldn't you love to live there? Like, look at that view. Oh my goodness. So this is the parking lot. I could walk down here into the park. There's a few different like terraces with picnic tables. And I did take the time to go down there and look around to kind of scope out the scene. But I actually found that I had a pretty pleasant view right from the parking area. So I'm over on this side, you know, with my Chevy, I backed in and then opened the hatch. I shut off my dome lights though. Make sure you do that so you don't have your battery die. But then I set the easel up right here because I'm like, oh, this is a nice view. So try that. I think that might be it. So I did have a couple videos as well, but those I'll just have to post. I'll just kind of post organically inside of the Facebook app or whatever to show you because for some reason they just wouldn't transfer over to my picture file that I wanted to show you right now. But anyway, so just showing you that, talking about blocking in and what I'm working on. I love painting in plein air. I'm loving this. It gets me out of the house. It gets me, I mean, I walk every day anyway, but it's so nice to be breathing fresh air and to be looking at beautiful scenes. Also, people come over and talk to me. So, you know, sometimes I can work faster, depends on how many people talk to me. But if, you know, if I'm in an area that's busy, I can almost guarantee people are going to talk to me because they want to say hi to you and they want to see what's going on. So I did have a woman stop and talk to me today as well. She was very sweet. For me, this is a great time to start these paintings and to work on these plein air pieces because we are having weather that is like in the 50s, in 60s. And I don't know what it got up to today. I'd have to ask Tim, my hubby wubby. He's pretty good at keeping up with the weather. Um, but when it starts to get really cold, I'm all set with that. When my fingers start freezing while I'm trying to paint and like my arthritis kicks in, it's like, no, can't do that. But I'm hoping, and the leaves have already started changing. I'm hoping that we're going to have some really good days that I can go get out there and paint on location when the leaves all start changing, because as an artist and painting landscapes specifically, that is my favorite subject to paint, are the beautiful fall colors. So fingers crossed that I will have some good weather to do that. Yeah, thanks, Jane. I love to bring you on the adventure. Just check in to see if I told you everything. Okay. Oh, if you are not on my text list and you would like to be, please go ahead and type in remind. I will come back and give you that so you can sign up. Doesn't cost anything. Whoops, I don't know what that is popping up on my screen. Get out of here. Okay, there we go. I'm just looking to see if I forgot to tell you anything. All right. Oh, I do want to say, okay, I do want to say, for all of you who are in my art collectors group, I do apologize that I haven't been in there posting all the time and showing you a bunch of paintings and things like that. Numerous reasons, right? Because I'm teaching artists how to sell their own paintings as well. So that is another passion of mine, and I love to help them. So that does take up a portion of my work week. But I am going to be posting in there a little bit more, hence the reason why I'm streaming in there as well, right? So if you're just catching me, you don't know who I am, but you are thinking about grabbing one of my paintings, or you're very interested, go ahead and type in collectors group, and I will come back and give you the link to that if you want to jump in, because I will put these two pieces when they're completed in there first for availability. If it doesn't sell, it's going to go into my website gallery. And yeah, I used to post in there every single day. Thank you all to my art lovers, because I was selling 1 to 4 paintings a day for 3 years, which really helped me to pay the mortgage and bills. So thank you so much for that. And I am going to be doing an art show sometime soon for you all. I'll do a virtual show because I do have some pieces here. Looking around my studio right now, I will be getting more back from, like I said, Picnic Rock Farms. I have some pieces around town, things like that. If you, and because I've done this in the past for some of my art customers, okay, my art lovers. If you are serious about buying a piece, purchasing some of my art, of course, if you live locally, because I have 12 to 15 of you who, pick up at my home studio, which is totally fine. But I'm not running a big business out of my house, right? I have a home studio, but I don't mind if you live locally and make an appointment with me. Then you most certainly can come in so you can see with your, in person what pieces I have available. If you would like to do that. If you're like, oh, dang, I'm in Florida, or I'm in Alabama, or I'm in California or Alaska, because I know I've got 5 of you who purchase pieces from me in Alaska. So thank you for that. Big shout out to Alaska. If you want to have a one-on-one virtual showing, you most certainly can message me about that. Now, once again, my time is limited because I'm a businesswoman and I'm running my business online as well as helping artists, too, plus painting. But if you are serious about a purchase, I most certainly will do that for you. I did that for one of my collectors, Melissa. So thank you so much for the pieces that you chose. And what we did was we just got on Messenger and we video called because she didn't live close enough to come into my studio. So I did a one-on-one with her. She had specific questions, and I showed her around my studio and exactly what I had for sale. So if you want to do that, go ahead and let me know. I'd be happy to set up an appointment with you to do that. Other than that, I used to do a lot of live art shows every year. Well, last year and the year before, I've done an annual art show to show you what I have available and sell some pieces for around the Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of time frame. So depending on what I have left available, I will do another one of those. That's not a one-on-one thing. That's I'm doing a show for all of you who are interested in seeing my pieces. Um, I would love to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be live doing an art show every this and that date, but I'm not going to like shoot myself in the foot and say that and not be able to do it. Because once again, I don't have a huge collection on hand right now. Well, pretty good size, but not as big as I have in the past. Because I have pieces at different places and I've made some sales since then and all that. But anyway, just to recap, I came on to show you specifically my two new pieces that I'm creating in plein air. They will be available when they're complete. They are not complete yet. Robin brought up the fact, which is totally true, that oil paints take longer to dry. I have been incorporating oil paints on top of my acrylic paintings now. Really gives it some beauty and some real nice richness in there. So obviously it's going to take longer to dry. I need to let the layers dry. But when they are completed, I will post first in my art collectors group, and then it will go into my website gallery, unless one of the other stores in town wants to display it, something like that. Thank you for all my artist friends who have hung out and my creative warriors. Big shout out to you. Boo, boo. Big shout out to Linda Clark, too. Just sold a painting. Yay, yay. I'm all proud of you. So anyway, hopefully you've had a good time hanging out with me, and I hope that you have a good rest of your night. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer. Even if you're checking out the recording, I will come back and check. Let me just see if you're saying anything right now. If you have anything to tell me, go for it, and then we'll peace out. Robin, yeah. I've done this, and I have trainings inside of Creative Warriors. I typically, and this was back when I was selling a lot online, and I would do a virtual art show for all of my pieces twice a month, at least one time, but usually twice a month. And this was way back. And I used to, I did pretty good. I would make minimum like $450 to maximum $900 on live, and then and I always sold pieces on the recording as well, on the replay. People would screenshot, be like, is this still available? So one of those shows, I doubled that price. So yeah, I made almost $2,000 for one show. So yeah, I'm Robin, you totally should be doing it, like all of you should be. If you're in Creative Warriors, I got trainings on that, so you can check them out. And of course, we will help you. And as far as doing a collaborative virtual art show, Robin, I think that's probably what you're talking about. I've been thinking about that. You guys know me, I'm creative. I get all kinds of ideas just like you do. So I have been thinking about that. I did once upon a time, a couple of years ago, I did a Hello Spring. This was back in like March, a couple of years ago. Did a Hello Spring virtual art show online, which was a collaborative thing, not just my paintings, but other artists as well joined in for that. So I'm thinking about doing another one of those. And of course, you creative warriors will be the first to know if you are in my membership or if you are a member of the collaborative art gallery, which I run as well. Then you all will get either free entry or a discount to take part because it's not easy to set up that for a collaborative with other artists. So, I charge for, some of my time there. But yeah, I can go on a long tangent with that too. But anyway, just keep your ears and eyes peeled. No worries with you, Crystal. You're already in, I'm sorry, Robin, you're already in Creative Warriors. So you'll be the first to know about that. Anyway, I love you all. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and check out the recording if you missed any of this. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye.